Yeah, I don't really mind. What do you think, Ted? I mean, here's the thing, right? Here's the deal.
Mm.
I don't know much about film.
Excellent. That's just what I want to hear.
Yeah.
It's fine. I mean, that's the you know. I think having someone who's not film like focused,
Hmm.
it's interesting to get those kind of people on, because then I think it shows other,
Yeah.
thought processes. So have you got any trips planned coming up?
No, we just went to Marrakesh last week, actually.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, that was lovely.
to
Really
the
nice and warm.
souk.
Yeah, have you been there?
I haven't. 10 years ago, I was meant to go, but then my darling ex-wife fucked another man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I decided not to go on that trip. So what did
Yeah,
you do in
no.
Marrakesh?
We went over. We stayed in a nice little, like a Airbnb with a pool. It's really cool. It's like
Oh,
just
nice.
basically French expats, so it's kind of quite nice.
Good
It kind of,
food.
yeah, chilled out. Went into the Atlas Mountains, did some hiking and stuff like that. Seb was kind of awesome with that.
Because
And I
how
was,
old's Seb now?
he's 4 now.
So he's kind of taking care of his own business, right?
A bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the souks, to be honest, were fucking mental. Like,
It's
and
a
I,
it's an environment that is not encouraging generosity and warmth. It's encouraging capitalism at its finest.
yeah, and everyone is super friendly, but
But
they're
false.
all like, "Oh, this other guy, he's not good for you. You must come with me. I'll talk
Which
to you about it in my shop." And you're like, "Oh, fuck's sake."
I get the same whenever I haven't been to India in years, but go to India and they're like, the taxi driver's like, where do you want to go? And it's like, oh, take me to the market. And they're like, you don't want to go to this market. My brother, he has a shit tat shop around the corner. We should go there. And it's like, right, don't drive me to some obscure location that you know. And also
Yeah,
don't just drop me off at some prick who I have no idea who he is. If his shop's so good, why isn't he in the main market? Why is he some back alley over here? You know? And let
yeah,
me watch you take the cap off that Coca-Cola bottle, because I'm not having no fucking... There you go, sir. And
yeah.
then pissing out my arsehole tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And I'd say the nicest guy we met there was, what's the nicest guy we met? Was this guy who was taxiing us around, and he popped us into this place. Like, he's quite subtle with his sales pitches, let's put it that way. But he popped
Mm,
us into this place, and he would have happily. I kept. There were these people like trying to sell a rug, and I was
yeah.
like, "We need a rug. Could be handy for both of us." And I was like, "How much is the price of the rug?" And he was like, "Adam, don't worry about the price." And I was like, "I am worried about the price. That's part of buying a rug. What is the price of the
Yeah.
rug?" "Adam, if I tell you the price of the rug, you'll want 4 or 5. I can assure you." "What is the price of the rug?" "Somebody tell me the price of the rug. I
Yeah.
need to know the price of the rug." The rug turned out to be 1,000. And I heard him because, I think he was like speaking in French, this guy, and he was like, I said to him, he said, "How much do you want to pay?" I said, "Let's put it this way. In England, I could get something like this for between 2 and 400."
Yeah.
And he turned to him and he went, "His budget's 400." And I was like, I feel like that's not really what I said, is it?
That's definitely not what I said.
I feel like taking the very top end. And then his mate came back and said, "Well, we could do it for 600." And I was like, yeah, this doesn't feel nice, does it really?
I I know that a load of people love that. Like, they love the bartering and they love all
Mm,
the trying to get the deal and all that kind of stuff. And I don't mind trying to get the deal. I don't mind playing that game. But also, tell me the fucking price.
yeah,
Like, let me know where we're starting. Because if you're saying, like, I'll give it to you for 200, it's like, I want to spend a pound. Like,
yeah.
I don't.
And who's got more purchasing power, me or Dunelm? Really? I mean, if I'm going to get it cheaper, it will be through some hideous global
Yeah.
chain that smashed these little guys into the ground. And I just don't have the time to do that on my holiday.
And, like, I would like to help the little guys. And I'd also like to say to people like, what do you think of our new rug? We bought it on one of our many trips to Marrakesh.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit wanky, but I also want to say that. But then in reality, when the dog wags his tail so hard it knocks my coffee off the table and it pisses all over our lovely wool rug, I'd rather it was just a cheap rug from fucking down the road that I can replace.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. But it could also be a cheap rug from that very same place in Marrakesh. It's like this farmers market nonsense as well, isn't it? It's like,
oh yeah,
yeah, it's double the price. But I thought you were just round the corner and you didn't put anything on in any of this stuff.
yeah, but
Well, yeah,
it's organic.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. So you've done less to it.
yeah.
You've sowed the fucker. Earth did the work. And then all you did was fucking pulled it out of the ground, which took you a day. Fucking liar, mate.
Yeah,
Also, like I a while ago, I thought I'm going to grow my own vegetables. I'm going to be that guy.
yeah,
And someone was like, "Do you know how many plants you need to plant? Like how many, like bean plants, carrots, potatoes? Like you need a big old patch to feed you and your partner throughout the year, that it becomes cheaper to then like to just
Yeah.
buy them. Like you buy a bag of carrots for 30p, and to toil the land, buy the seeds, like make sure it's all nice, make sure it's all kept properly, and then incubators and all that shit to make sure that you get a good sapling. It turns out that each carrot costs like maybe 30p to grow, and it's like, right, and what's the difference between a bag of carrots and one I've grown, which I know my cat has shat on? I'll just
True
buy
story,
carrots.
yeah.
True story, mate. The lady
Yeah.
next door to us used to have this lovely tree in her front garden, and these rose bushes that the cat shat in every morning, and her roses were fucking exquisite. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's currently got a group of men who've been here all fucking week, ripping it all out and just gravelling.
Hmm.
She's paid Paradise to put up a parking lot.
Very
No,
good.
no, is what I said.
Oh God. Oh Ted, how have you been? You've been in there all week, haven't you?
I have! It's horrible. Welcome to Your Life in Film. I'm your host, Ted Bennett. Joining me today is Alan Cummings. Is it Cummings or Cumming or...
It's fucking Adam for a start. He said Alan.
Imagine if I got
Cummings,
Alan
yeah.
Cummings on the show.
Yeah.
Fuck! Welcome to Your Life in Film. I'm your host, Ted Bennett. Fuck you. Welcome to Your Life in Film. I'm your host, Ted Bennett. Joining me today is Adam Cummings. Adam Cummings. Wait. Joining me today is Adam Cummings. Adam is a data scientist who I've worked with in the past. On our first day, I made I'm not going to repeat the joke, but I made a very off-colour joke. And everyone else in the room looked upset, but Adam gave me a cheeky little side-eye, and I knew we'd be friends forever. Adam also does some stand-up comedy every now and then, so if you recognise him, he loves it when people come over and say hello. Adam, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks, Ted. I'm doing well.
It's a
Pleased to
lovely-
be
Go on.
pleased to be on the pod or on the cast.
On
How
the
will we
cast.
call it?
I don't think you can say cast anymore.
No, I don't think you can anymore, can you? So yeah, pod. Pleased to be on the pod.
Are you... Is that a headboard behind you or a very ornate bench?
It's an ornate headboard, yes.
Very fancy. Where'd you get it from?
From the missus. That's as much as I know. But yeah, it's not actually plumbed into the framework of the bed, so it is a bit. It's not,
Oh, is it just one of those, like, it's a completely... If you took it away from the wall, it wouldn't stand up.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then it's just pressed the bed against it.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm not the
nice.
biggest fan of it, if I'm honest.
And why not? Air your grievances.
Because it's wider than the bed,
Okay.
and as I've said, I'm a data scientist, so I'm also, kind of bit anal like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like things to be like the same width, and then it's just not plumbed in at all. So if I do pull the bed away, it will just fall over, and that just doesn't seem right.
But you are a certified big boy. You're quite tall. Do you not have like a Caesar bed?
Mate, this is a fucking emperor bed.
Emperor.
Yeah.
Jiminy crickets.
So I guess, yeah.
So that thing's fucking huge if it's bigger than an emperor bed.
Yeah. I mean, actually, this is two separate bits of headboard as well, so it allows you to be banging on one side, and the other side doesn't feel a thing.
So there is a headboard on that bed, though?
Well, there is a headboard, yeah.
Oh, and I've gone off it.
Exactly, yeah.
I've gone right off that.
It's not good, Ted. It's not good.
Have you thought about telling her she's wrong?
I have, but what is common in all of these things is that I definitely don't have anything resembling a better idea.
See, I think that we should flip the script on this. You should be able to acknowledge, like, that's not good. It's like, how would you fix it? By getting rid of it. Yeah, but what would you replace it with? No. Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
There doesn't have to be an alternative.
It doesn't have to be, does it? No, but, yep, I'm in the visuals of the house, I do defer to her and her better eye.
I will say for the listener, Mari is a designer, so
yeah,
she is. It's in her wheelhouse to design things nicely.
Exactly, yeah, and it's in my wheelhouse to sit there and say that looks much better than I actually thought than I could have done in it, because it usually is.
You had before you met, you had a fridge in your living room.
Yeah,
correct?
We did. Yeah.
Yep. So
we had the world's tiniest kitchen. I will say that. So we actually couldn't fit a fridge in the kitchen, so we had to put it in there with lots of fridge magnets to keep it funky. Really glad we didn't own a Smeg one at that point. It was just like some standard, like 20-year-old Sharp
perfect
fridge. Yeah.
We keep all of our fridge magnets on the side of the fridge, the side that you walk past. So imagine how smooth that is every time.
Yeah.
Keep the front of the fridge nice and clear.
Beautiful stuff.
Because obviously reasons.
Yeah.
God knows. But yes, so you and her name's Marie, everyone, not Mari. I like to make fun of her name. You two met because she was a paying tenant in your house, and then you thought, I can sweeten this deal by sleeping with her. Correct?
Sort of a bit like that, yeah. So yeah, it was some time ago, and it was. I mean, it could very easily have been a Rigsby situation. I believe there might be some people familiar with Rising Damp on the pod, but it was different. She arrived at the door and she was pretty hot, to be fair, and I was like, I'm pretty sure this will be fine, moving in a fairly hot woman. But yeah, probably like 4 months later, we went on this because it was just one other bedroom in the house. I was like, the last thing I want to do is move in with some sort of fuckwit. So we actually did like a kind of meet before she moved in.
Oh, nice.
And I remember going on that and just thinking, geez, this has been like a really good date. We just basically talked music and films. There you go. Topical.
Circle it back.
Yeah, no, all sorts of stuff. And I was like, well, let's put aside that she's quite hot and good fun, and
Jesus,
maybe just move her in anyway as a really good addition to the house.
Nothing could go wrong.
Nothing could go wrong. And then 3 to 4 months later, various bits, various little nods and winks. I believe it was. There was a
Was it you were having a wank and you left the door open? Was that?
Actually, funnily enough,
in porno, I think that's how it works.
Yeah. I think actually the one that's most similar to that was I came in once, and before her bedroom, I just used to use to keep my shoes. Not because I've got a large shoe collection, but because I had a large nothing collection, so I could put a shoe in one room and then all
Nice.
my other belongings. When I moved to the house, I actually said to the taxi driver said, "Where are you going on holiday?" And I said, "Oh, I'm not, mate. I'm moving house." I just had all my belongings in a suitcase.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
and then I came. That's very much changed now, but
Yeah.
but yeah, so I came home one night quite pissed. Forgot that I'd actually rented out the room, and I went in, kicked the shoes off, ended up on her bed, and she sort of said, "You know, what the fuck?" And I was like, "Oh," but there were no hard feelings about it, which I think, were
Mm.
it to be your typical landlord-tenant relationship, that would probably be looked down upon,
That could have gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I think, yeah, it was that. It was,
And then you had
just
to 10 Rillington Place the previous guests for the same reason as every tenant that came in. You did the same thing. You kicked off the shoes
yeah,
and you're like, hey. And they're like, the fuck you do? And then you're like, saucepan over the head.
yeah, yeah.
Bury you.
That's the thing. I didn't even have a garden flat, so it was
Bloody
all done
hell.
with a vat of acid.
Oh, fair play. Because
Yeah,
that's not easy to get hold of nowadays.
it's really not. It's Jeffrey Dahmer through and through.
You have to use the immersion tank in the attic. So I've been told.
Yeah.
So yeah. So then 3 to 4 months later, she wormed her way out of paying rent.
Yeah, she wormed her way out of paying rent, and she inherited my room and her room. So
What did
her
you
room
get?
became yeah, her walk-in closet, and yeah, what did we then? It was quite cool. The day we decided to make it a thing,
Mm.
it was like, right, should we make it a thing? And she's like, yeah, let's do that. I was like, yeah, let's do that. And then all of a sudden, we were probably as together as we could be, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
because we were living together and we were with each other. So we'd kind of skipped all of the hard steps and the
Mm.
anxiety of those hard steps, because we were kind of like, well, it's not like I have to tell her that I like football.
Yeah. True.
I've got some sour news for you.
You
And
know,
she'd already
you know
told
when I
me
go
that she
out
like,
every Sunday.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And
Now
she'd
you got to
already
be
told,
okay with it. Go on.
yeah, and I already knew that she liked Simply Red and Mick Hucknall as well.
Oh
So
Christ!
there were some skeletons released from the closet long before that.
Bloody hell! That's not a thing you want to find out about your partner, is it? Ever?
Well, exactly. No, I think if you find, it's one of those things. Finding out, there's like a thing that actually we inadvertently did, which is quite good. It's like an amnesty of information where you basically swap stories about what's happened to you in your life that
Mm.
you no longer have to tell awkwardly down the line. So
Perfect.
one of those, like I feel like had we have got together and I didn't know that she fancied Mick Hucknall when she was young, I'd have probably considered it quite quite a, a difficult thing to process. But
There were 3
obviously,
people that Kirsty fancied growing up. One was Meatloaf, one was Jack Black, and one was Seth Green. I feel like she struck gold with me with the
yeah,
first 2.
yeah. Oh dear, you're a dead ringer for love, aren't you?
Hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I know. Yeah. Oh god.
Nice.
Now we're cooking. We should
Now,
start this.
now we're going. Now we're going. Um, what is a data scientist?
Well, a data scientist is what existed before AI came and took all our jobs. So data scientists you would press accept on a website because you would be like
Why not
fed
be?
up with
Yeah.
scrolling down and clicking reject. And you would give all of your data to someone. And then behind the scenes, rather than some LLM based robot, you would
Mm.
have someone who essentially looks at the data and says, "Oh, what can we infer from this?" So that's a data scientist. I kind of what I do at the moment. So I would say I'm kind of a data scientist because I've got a charity website which is very much based on data science. So, for example, that reads from the government's charity commission data. That's actually free plug here.
Yeah.
Open. This isn't going out on BBC, is it?
I fucking hope not.
No. Yeah, that's on opengivingnow.com. So it's designed to help people find their perfect charity. So as a person, I'm kind of a data scientist, and again with when we used to work together, a lot of what I did was the same as what I do now, which is basically going into financial institutions and helping them, work through their data to work out what's the best way or what's the best source and what's the best way to represent something, in terms of what they want to do and how they want to show their clients and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's basically fannying around with data. That's basically it.
Fair enough. I remember when you told me about the was it the piece of software you wrote in your masters or something?
Yeah.
And it predicted football results, and it was 50-50. It was 50% correct or something. Which I thought, isn't everything 50% correct? If it's football, it's either them or not.
Yeah, which, aside from having a draw, would have been absolutely correct.
Sports, sure.
But yeah, do you remember why it was so special stroke not special?
Was it just it won you a lot on the ACCAs? I don't know.
No. So basically it was so I developed this piece of software at Hull Uni, one of the 3 top unis, Source, Blackadder. And the lecturer guy basically said to me, I'd recommend not doing something on football betting because it's more of a hobby. It's probably likely to not be very robust as a kind of thing. So I said, thank you for your advice. I will be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, I basically did something which is actually an interesting precursor to all the LLM AI stuff. So it's like this thing that used the back propagation algorithm.
Obviously.
And the trick of it was, so it was designed to take in loads and loads of data, loads of results, head-to-head results, last 10, last 50, whatever, and just predict how a team would do in terms of the game on that weekend. And there was a particular iteration I landed on, and I basically could predict 50% of the games where most bookies were getting between 40 and 43%. So there you go. Right. So anyway, I took it. I submitted all my work, and basically what happened is 2 people mark it. One said, this is pretty good actually.
Mm-hmm.
And one said, this is a steaming pile of shit. And so it had to go to review, and I went to this review board and I said, this is what I've done, this is how I've done it, blah, 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 this is what it's doing. And in the end, they upheld the mark that I got from the good mark.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a huge bit of coursework as well, probably steered me onto a first.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so afterwards, I thought, you know what, basically, I don't quite know how it works in terms of who owns what, but if I can get this thing off the ground, I can basically make money. If I can predict 50% of the time and the bookies can predict 40 to 43. And I was in a position where I even had people come towards me and they were like, I think it was, I called myself Bet First, got approached by Stanley Bet at the time. But I couldn't take him up on it because I'd realised that I decided to use the system because I was like, well, let's just, while I'm working on it, may as well just make myself some sweet money.
Mm.
And that was the point that I realised that it just predicts home victories for every single result that ever happens. So it basically just had a massive coding error.
Fucking hell.
Predicted a home victory forever. So what you found was that, yeah, the bookies were obviously you could there was no money to be made on it because often the home victories that it was predicting were bollocks. And the tricky thing really with betting against the bookies anyway is trying to figure out what your odds are versus their odds, and then seeing if there's a bit of leeway there to bet on. So yeah, it turns out it was a massive steaming pile of shit, and I tried to fix it.
The review, I guess, or the grade that said it was dog shit, had it noticed that?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, it didn't notice that. I think it was just an ideological thing. I think actually weirdly I showed the person who said this is just a fucking hobby along the way what I was doing, and he said, yeah, this is pretty cool because this back propagation algorithm is some solid stuff, to be honest, to implement and research and train and all this sort of stuff. This was long before AI was a thing, Ted. 2001, probably.
You and Elon Musk. Eh?
I know, right? Yeah, roughly worth the same amount, I think.
About the same. You own property.
Yeah. I mean, I do, yeah.
Yeah.
With the debt, I own property.
Look, you leverage the debt. That's how you make the money. That's what Musk does.
Yeah.
We all know. Yeah. You leverage your debt.
Yeah.
So I'm getting in the debt first.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, the other one that came on and gave it a low mark basically just looked at what it was and just said, yeah, this is bollocks, isn't it? But actually, he was right.
So would you technically have to forfeit your masters? Or is it one of those things that, like, the outcome doesn't necessarily have to be correct? The working is sound, the research is sound, and everything else that like led to it. It's like, yeah, it's sound work. It just doesn't work.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a journey to making a system. Basically, it's a journey. Fucking journey. I hate journeys.
Get fucked at the journeys, mate.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's I stopped understanding quite a long time ago. So let's get into a topic that I do understand.
and I know fuck all about film.
Perfect combo. Yeah. So yeah, what was you're a Bath boy, aren't you? You're from Bath.
Yeah.
Or Bath, as you'd say.
Sort of, yeah. So because I'm from the town around Bath, that's what I would call it, Bath. Whereas Bath people would always call it Bath because they're posh, and we ain't.
All right.
Yep.
So you're saying I'm posh because I say Bath?
Yeah, I mean it's just a thing from what is known as Radstock. Obviously not Rodstock. I can't imagine anyone pronouncing it that way and not getting lamped. To be fair.
Fair. It's a bit like I'd love to hear the Queen say the name Nancy because I want her to say Nancy. But then it might sound like Nazi, and then she'll go back into her family routine. So what was the first film you saw at the cinema?
Well, the first film I saw was Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's quite... You're how much older than me? How old are you?
I'm 45.
Oh, so, like, you didn't go to the cinema until you were quite old?
No. It's kind of a funny thing. It's weird. We didn't tend to go to those sorts of things. That's the first film I remember seeing. I'm sure someone could potentially put me right, but I feel like it would be a silly thing anyway to ask my parents, who would tell me about a film I saw, and then that would be the conversation. So I'll tell you about the first one I remember seeing, which was going to see Jurassic Park at the cinema. It's funny, like my journey in film is my life in film. Sorry.
There you go. Thank you, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. is that I sort of grew up not really watching films very much. I was more of a kind of outdoors person, and
Yuck.
I did, yeah, exactly, yeah. I didn't really, and I remember going to uni where everybody felt compelled to watch something, and the first like 20 minutes was basically talking about all of the actors, what they'd been
Mm.
in, and me just thinking, I have never cared to know any of this shit. Just watch the movie. And
Jealous. I wish. I
yeah,
wish. I wish I didn't care.
well, this you say that, but yeah, funnily enough, years and years later, let's call it even 10 years later, to be honest, you get,
Let's go further. Go 15.
yeah, 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 it's funny. I got to the point and I was just like, actually, I like this movie. And then I realized I liked another movie. And all of a sudden I was like, is it Aronovich? Is that his name? Don't know.
Aronofsky.
Aronofsky,
Yeah.
that's
Isn't Aronovich or whatever? Isn't he a footballer?
probably,
Zoltan or whatever his name is.
yeah. So I just, yeah, found myself just actually realizing that particular actors. And I also have a particular kind of face blindness as well. So I
Okay.
thought, oh fuck, I can't remember who the two people are now, but there's Kevin Bacon, for example, always used to confuse him with somebody else who I can't even remember to say
Right.
now.
I think
So
Kirsty has it with Javier Bardem and Josh Brolin. No,
I,
Jeffrey Dean Morgan and I don't know, like and Josh Brolin.
yeah,
You know what? This is all horseshit. But she can't. She can't as well.
yeah. So I would often like, and I was forgetful of names. So basically, I had none of the attributes required to really store and remember actors. Had no real motivation or care to do it. But then, as time went by and I sort of started thinking, actually, you know what, movies are pretty cool.
Mm.
So how do I watch the ones that I would like to watch more? I found myself sort of, yeah, gravitating towards having that little database of people and specifically actually, you know, producers, directors actually, and just,
Yeah.
you know, what sort of things do I like?
So when you went to see Jurassic Park, was there not? Because to me, that sounds like such a baffling thing that you'd go see that film and it not spark a love for film. Was there not a moment of being sat in this dark room and this world is being shown in front of you? That like was there none of that?
Well, because we lived in a town,
Mm.
and I think I remember we went to see that film on holiday.
Right.
So my parents would never go to the movies, um, from memory anyway. Um, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so they would never go to the movies. We didn't have a movie theatre in where I lived.
Right.
There wasn't one within walking distance of where I lived. So it was tough to go there.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go to see a movie, it was like a proper
Making a point of
day
it.
experience. It was like go get on the bus, you know, have some sort of a walk and do
Mm.
that. So yeah, I never really got to see movies, and it's something that, yeah, I don't think we really did. We just watched, certain bits of TV, so I just remember, Friday nights were like Cheers, Roseanne,
Yeah.
Frasier, that kind of thing. So these were the things that I watched that I loved. It was kind of comedies on TV,
Mm.
or sometimes even I think we watched EastEnders even
Hey, gotta have a bit of drama somewhere.
back in those days. Yeah. So I can't. I was kind of pretty clueless
Mm.
on movies, really, and I think it was a little bit of one of those things. I think we probably discussed this sort of thing before, where for a while, I was probably a bit like, I knew I'd kind of missed out to some degree, and I was just like nope, I'm just going to pretend that I don't like movies
Fair, yeah.
for a little bit, just and then eventually I was like, do you know what? I just have to fucking
Uh,
get off this and just go and watch more.
a friend of mine, when we were growing up, we were probably 12, 13. He'd never had pizza
Yeah,
at 12 or 13 because his parents just never cooked pizzas. So when he came over to our house and my dad was like, we're having pizzas, he was like, oh, I'm okay, thank you. And my dad was like, no, they're good pizzas. And he was like, no, I don't know, I don't like the idea of, what is it, like the bread, the cheese, the tomato, it gets all soggy. I'm okay, thank you. And it was like, have you ever had a pizza? Like, it gets soggy. What are you on about? A frozen pizza don't do that. And then years later, I said that to him and he was like, oh, I'd never had one and I was afraid. So I said I didn't like it.
yeah,
So yeah. Same. You're the same people.
exactly. Yeah.
So, what did you watch over and over again as a kid?
Well, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? So over and over again as a kid, yeah, so it's funny. So obviously Jurassic Park was bloody cool.
Mm.
I mean, that you're right. It's funny. It just felt like such an isolated event, like going on holiday.
Right.
So that's kind of how I saw it. It was almost like you go once a year kind of thing to watch something, to pay for that sort of thing, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And that was epic. But what I watched again and again was a combination of two films stand out. One was one that virtually every woman watches all the time. Marie does, and my sister used to. Pretty Woman.
Okay.
The only film
Mm.
about a hooker
Yeah.
trying to get together with a guy that all women are allowed to love without exception.
Hey, it's about love conquering all.
Yeah, yeah,
Eh? Because who wouldn't want to be with a man who frequents prostitutes so often that it's just something,
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's weird.
Yeah, so I actually ended up watching that quite a bit, but I would say that the one. So again, we always used to go around to Nan's house, Nan and Gramps' house, like when we were young.
And she had it on 24/7, didn't she?
Yeah, she she always used to have a choice of movies, and ones that stick out were The King and I, The Sound of Music.
Right. So the Yul Brynner King and I.
I don't know, mate. I
Sorry,
never
yeah.
stuck it on. I looked at it. It didn't look for me. But we always basically, it's like the 6 weeks holidays. We spent loads of time there, and it would be just right. It's raining, or whatever, or there's nothing to do at the moment. Maybe shall we just stick on Mary Poppins again? And that's what we do. We just watch
Poppins.
Sherry Bobbins.
Sherry
Mary
Bobbins 24/7.
Yeah.
Can you do a Dick Van Dyke?
Well, I don't verily believe I can, actually.
Hmm.
That's shit, isn't it? Yeah.
That went. Where did that get? That went somewhere else. I didn't go Dick Van Dyke.
No, it didn't. Oh, go on. Do a Dick Van Dyke.
No. I don't think I can. Like, I don't think I've seen that film in so long that I would be able to quote a line of his, other than
Jim Jiminy, Jim
Chim
Jiminy,
Chiminy,
Jim
Chim
Jim Jerome.
Jerome. But he doesn't
I
even
could
do that. He
fly.
does like a real Mary Bobbins. It's such
Yeah.
a bad Cockney accent that
Yeah.
it was very specific.
Yeah. It's an awful accent which I had no idea about in the past, because again, I'd really not travelled too many places.
Well, the only
at
other
all.
time I was aware of the word Cockney was in the Fast Show, where Paul Whitehouse and Arabella Weir were in this lovely old convertible, and they're driving through the country, and they stop and they look at the camera and they go, "Hello, we're Cockneys." And I was like, ha ha ha, that is funny, that's a Cockney. And then when I'm like Dick Van Dyke doing a Cockney accent, I was like, that's not a Cockney accent.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm wrong on both. Neither of them are doing Cockney accents.
Yeah, it's a, I don't know, it's funny because I think with anything, and I think this is sometimes what sort of turned me off some TV, like,
Mm.
is it the stuff I had was quite overwatched. Like my
Yeah.
sister would kind of watch Friends over and over again, which is why I still just don't really watch it to this day because
Not missing out.
saw enough. But yeah, and Mary Poppins, it's a bloody good movie. But I will, little Seb, little boy Seb,
Hmm.
I'll introduce him to it at some point because it's a quality movie.
It's a
It's
delightful
just
little film.
it is, and it's what's in sort of thinking about it. Obviously preparing for this. And it's funny when you go back to it and you just think it's such a good kids film because when I was young, I just had this. I became a scientist, and I realised that nothing is real.
Mm.
Everything's a Pyrrhic victory, and we're all going to die.
Lovely.
But when I was a kid, I was kind of like, actually, do you know what? Like magic is upon us. I used to watch. Do you remember? Do you ever watch Escape to Witch Mountain?
I'm aware of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like this where people are like, I think it's psychokinetic, and they can move things around with the power of their mind. And I remember I used to dream about it a lot, and I used to try and do it a lot.
Mm.
Just be like, I'm just going to keep looking at this salt shaker, just see if I can make it move. Because if I
And
can
in
make it
my
move a little
head,
bit,
I think I could do it.
yeah. And at that point, it was like anything's possible. Like I'm sure it is.
Hey,
And Mary Poppins was just, perhaps you could laugh so much that you all end up at the top of the room, or you could jump through a painting, and that's kind
or a
of
bag that could hold a ladder.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
There was a coat rack on it. She had a coat rack in her
She
bag.
had a coat rack in it, yeah. So yeah, it was brilliant, yeah. So it was like, and even like years later with David Blaine and all that sort of stuff, I just found, I know it's not nuts, but I found myself just buying the DVDs of David Blaine because I was just like, this is just so cool.
That's interesting that so far, it's only two films really, but you mentioned that you're a data scientist and a scientist, so you're very facts driven. These early films are very fantastical, and that didn't
Yeah,
dissuade you from a life in science.
it's weird, isn't it? Because I am two films that I hate
Mm.
are fantasy and sci-fi, which is kind of nuts, really. That should be
Which
my
is the first two
absolute.
films you've mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, yeah, going back to like Jurassic Park, I just find it, especially with all the COVID,
Hmm.
you know, was it a lab leak, etc., all this kind of stuff, and you got all the AI now, where's it going?
Hmm.
So I just find some of the themes of that are just, life is enough, if you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
it's not fantasy; it's life will find a way. Is seems to be happening, seems to have happened.
does seem to have
So
happened.
but yeah, admit it. But in Mary Poppins, some like a spoonful of sugar
Yeah, it's a
is
banger.
just it's a banger. It's an absolute banger, and it's just the absolute method with which to do everything that you dislike.
And
Not literally a spoonful of
no,
sugar.
no, no.
Like,
Heroin with a spoonful of sugar.
yeah, exactly.
Were you just about to mimic doing heroin?
I was about to mimic a lighter under the spoon, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. I mean, you don't get much done, but
Hey, hey, that's what the sugar's there for the pep.
yeah.
Yeah, fair. Also, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Like, that's a wonderful word. That's horseshit, but we all know it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Does the fantasy sci-fi hatred stem from this next question? What was the first 18 rated film you saw, and how old were you?
I don't remember how old I was, but again, in keeping with my way of experiencing films up to date. So I used to go to, my dad was seeing someone years ago, probably when I was like, it was when I was about 15, but I couldn't
Mm.
precisely age. But when it would have been, but yeah,
Your parents had split up at this point?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Good clarification.
I didn't want you to, bust a family secret there.
No.
Your mum's still waiting for him to come home.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just remember it was, you'd get a Saturday, a rainy Saturday, and there were sort of films that were largely owned by her son.
Mm.
And so we had all sorts of stuff there, Apocalypse Now, things like that. But actually the one I think I watched was RoboCop. So, and I was kind of, it's kind of strange. I don't remember a tremendous amount about it, but what I do remember, and it kind of surprises me to some extent, is obviously, people put 18 categorizations on things, don't they, for, to stop people getting trauma.
Yeah.
The one thing that definitely didn't bother me, the only thing that bothered me about that film is that it started off by this big ass robot going into an office and gunning down a man.
Yeah.
Really gorily. And then after that, it just seemed really slow. And I would eventually just turn it off and kind of go, oh, I mean, is that all?
Yeah. So I agree with that. I recently rewatched all 3 of the films, the originals. And I stand by that 2 is way better than 1. And 3 is probably more enjoyable.
Oh.
But 1's good, but it is slow.
Yeah.
Fuck all does happen for a long time. But when I was rewatching them, I thought I'd never seen 2 and 3. And then watching them back, I was like, oh, I had merged all of these into the first film.
Yeah.
In my head, the first film had elements of 2 and had elements of 3 and ended how 3 ended. So I was like, yeah, the first one's a banger. And then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh wait, no, it's not. This is not what I thought it was. And yeah, so 2 is by far my favourite. Yeah,
but that's interesting. Maybe I should go and watch those as well if I can find them lying around under.
I mean,
CRT TV.
That's the DVD box set of 1, 2, and 3.
Mm. Yeah, well, no, that's cool. Yeah, I'll maybe watch 2. But yeah, I remember I did the thing that I always did. I put it on. I was like, I'm bored. I'm going to put it on. I'd watch that scene. Usually I'd get to a point afterwards where I'd just be like, oh, fucking hell, is no one else going to get murdered?
Yeah, right.
Atrociously. And the things that I remember sticking out as more traumatic were poor little RoboCop getting shot. And when Ed falls down the stairs, even then, he's not the good guy. But I'm just like, you can't do that to a robot like that. So it's funny, and years later, I end up working with you, and probably, if a robot did walk into the boardroom and gun down one of the people, I mean, I'd probably cheer it on like the film.
Honestly, there'd be no difference in other than the chat, what we talked about at lunch.
Yeah.
They'd go in there, mow them down, and we'd be like, oh, fucking hell. Yeah, did you hear about that? Yeah, what do you want to do for lunch? I don't know.
Yeah, duck truck.
Oh, yeah, a little bit of duck truck. And then while just, you see how the bullets got him? Yeah, it'd be sick. Not that I wish death on anyone.
No.
Put that disclaimer in.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just funny, isn't it? Yeah, so that was probably my first 18, and the reaction to all of the gore and all of the ultra violence was more, please. And the reaction to some of the scenes where anthropomorphized robots, so if AI takes over us all and I'm expected to be John Connor, don't trust me. If it falls over, if the robot falls over, I will help it up, pat it and see it on its merry way.
Mate,
I'll be like,
all right.
I don't know what I've been doing, mate. Actually, you're not bad, are you, mate?
Go on, off you go, son.
You're not bad, are you? Is that a Dick Van Dyke impression? Well, yes, it is.
He finally pulled it back, people. He got there in the end. Terminator was a similar thing for us growing up. Like that for so long, like we watched Terminator 2 as a family, and
Yeah.
like don't look at those scenes, and it was like, oh yeah, okay. But then always being told like, yeah, but Terminator 1 is so much worse, and being like, oh, I want to watch Terminator 1, and then I watched Terminator 1, and yeah, he takes his own eyeball out. That's pretty dark. But other than that, there's no more gore or more violence. One is still a better film, in my opinion, than two. But it was that similar thing of just like, well, yeah, show me that grim shit. And then in your head, you've built it up as like, I remember Murphy getting shot in RoboCop as being this absolute gore fest, getting his hand shot off, like getting absolutely murked. And then when I rewatched it, I think it was like 3 or 4 shots, and like it's not that bad. And I was like,
No.
oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I'd agree. Yeah, Terminator's. Oh, it's great, wasn't it? Yeah, that's one I would have liked to pretend I watched first, just because Terminator 2 was another movie which just I was just like, this is so cool. What
Yeah.
what this can do, and Terminator 1 is epic. I'd say I think it is more scary just because there's more suspense in it. But
Yes. Terminator 1 is more of a horror, like sci-fi,
yeah,
in the same way that Alien is a horror sci-fi,
yeah,
whereas Aliens and Terminator 2 are just action films.
yeah,
But I would say Terminator 2, like, for up until I bought a Harley, I always wanted a Harley because of Terminator 2. And then I bought one and I realised the piles of shit they are. And I never
Are
wanted it
they?
again. I fucking hate... Oh, Harleys are the worst, mate.
really?
Yeah. In this country, they're dog shit.
Yeah,
Like, they're designed for hot, straight roads.
yeah.
Like, they're not designed for, like, country roads and a bit of wet. They rust to fuck
Ooh,
instantly.
that's really bad. For
And
a
they're
Harley.
not... They're not good. They're not good bikes. And the old one I had was fucking rubbish.
Yeah.
They look nice, though. Okay, Robocop, good choice. I think that's a good one to watch underage. I think that's the right film to watch underage.
It's better than watching films with underage.
What was the first film you watched that you considered grown up?
Yeah. So it was one again that I think it was just, next to the video, another classic just next to the video one. I think my dad proclaimed it to be his favourite film at the time.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Peter's Friends.
Oh, the dragon film. No, that's Peter's Dragon.
The Pete's Dragon, you dickhead.
Fucking hell. Yeah, go on.
I'm not sure. Do you know the film at all? It's Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie,
Peter's friend.
Peter's Friends.
No.
So it's brilliant, to be honest. Well, I've probably oversold that. It really felt good at the time. It was like a classic Paul Giamatti kind of anxious, introspective, sideways, kind of affair. So but essentially what happens is this guy invites a whole bunch of people to join him at his house, which is a large house. It's like classic kind of Etonian kind of thing. They all get together, and some of them argue all the time. Their marriages just aren't working out. There's some kind of potential for, I think there's this woman who keeps cracking on to, I think it's Stephen Fry, but he's just not interested.
I wonder why.
Yeah, and it's all about people who just things didn't turn out for them like they wanted, and it's all bookended.
I probably won't watch this film because might be a bit too real.
And then at the end of it all, am I allowed to do a spoiler?
Yeah, fuck 'em.
Spoiler alert, yeah. At the end of it all, the main character, the guy who's invited them all to the house, basically says, "Look, I'm gay and I've got AIDS." So yeah, it's
That
it's
took a
like
turn.
yeah, it took a turn, and they all kind of introspect a little bit about that and about, their own lives. And to a large degree are still just a bit involved up in their own problems still. So it's kind of, I don't know, I saw that as my first, that when I look back, that's the grown-up film that I watched, and
Yeah.
I just felt like, yeah, this is like life's, life's not tickles under the chin anymore. Life's not getting pissed up at uni.
Mm.
This is when you hit the real life. This is kind of how it becomes.
AIDS is a very sobering topic, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. So yeah, it was that. That's the one I look back on and think, yeah, that's the grown-up one. And again, there are certain grown-uppy ones like Sound of Music I mentioned earlier, but is a musical that can't possibly be grown up. So yeah, Peter's Friends, real people, real issues,
Wow.
real narcissism.
Was this around the time that your dad came out?
No, that would have been so. I would have watched that around when I was about 15, 16, and
Right.
that would have been when I was about 27.
Oh, okay.
But obviously, yeah, the theory that there might be a link there is quite possible.
Well, I think if someone was telling me, if gay folk get AIDS, I'd be like, might suppress these urges a bit longer then.
Yeah,
It's like that.
yeah,
And then they tell you, like, well, straight people can get AIDS too. Fucking hell.
yeah, yeah.
I'll stop shooting up then. Fucking hell. Fair enough.
That's when the teaspoon of sugar comes out.
So what film holds a special place in your heart?
Oh, this is a tough one. So I'm gonna split it up with When I Was Young, A Bronx Tale.
Oh, nice.
I just always used to watch that and rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really,
Chaz Palmieri is a great actor.
yeah. Little C. I mean, it just had everything it had because I guess I wouldn't have been a kid at the time,
Mm.
but I still was a bit of a kid, certainly in comparison to where I am now. So it's like,
Right, yeah.
so I always liked to see the little guy, to rise up through the ranks, through a bit of cheek.
Yes.
Because obviously, some people say that you would do that through hard work and achievement, but nah, a bit of cheek, if you don't mind.
A bit of cheek and befriending the right people high up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's how, if anyone's listening, that's how you succeed.
Yeah, and it's like, and I always liked back in those days, I was kind of to some extent older than I am today.
Right.
I always liked a film with a good, strong moral kind of line, and I liked, the way they dealt with like the interracial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack was brilliant,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was just a real kind of good film about, I guess whatever the melting pot of New York.
No, I agree. And I think it's, I'd say overlooked, but it is definitely overlooked in that sort of, everyone always says the best gangster film is The Godfather. And then you get the other people that are like, there's Goodfellas. And then it's like, actually, there are a lot of very good New York themed gangster films out there. And they should all get their moment. Because Bronx Tale is a great one. Like, it's because Bobby De Niro is the bus driver in that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that relationship of him just trying to get his son.
Well, he's his dad, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, okay.
just try and get his son like on the bus and just like, let's just go to the thing. Let's just do nice, normal stuff. Don't get involved with that, please.
Yeah.
And the kid he's going to do his own thing. And you can only hope as a father that you did your best to like, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I kind of have to tell you don't do that. But also it's like, but you're going to do your own journey. And yeah, like it's a good one. And obviously, the ending is a very good ending when it comes to it. Like, I won't ruin it for anyone.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a spoiler like you. And be like, it's life's for living. you know? And I think
Exactly.
it's a good way of doing it. You once said to me, and then you very quickly backtracked this thought. You said you think you only get a certain amount of heartbeats in your life, and you're like, and once you've spent them, like, you spend them. So if you live an adventurous life, then you die young because you've had your heartbeats. And then without even finishing that sentence, you went, no, I don't. That's bullshit.
I think young fantasy Adam was speaking, and then newfangled data scientist Adam struck him down.
Can I say, this was less than 10 years ago.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. I think that was speed to slap down. Actually, modern Adam would say, actually, I've gone to the doctor because I've got a very slow heartbeat, and I've been told it's because I'm tall, and that's probably why I'm going to die early. So actually, what we
like
found
big
is,
dogs.
yeah,
Big dogs die quicker.
yeah. So I've got my heartbeat was basically below 50.
Yeah, I remember we once, because I got an Apple Watch, and we were all seeing what our resting heart rate was, and because a big old fat man who guzzles cheeseburgers, mine was like resting at 70 or 80, and everyone else's was like resting at like 60 and 50, and yours was down at like 40.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus Christ, are you alive?
Yeah. Turns out I am, not for long.
Well, small mercies.
But yeah, so the answer is I'm not going to use too many heartbeats before I die. And that I know for sure now.
I like it when I'm seemingly doing nothing, and then my heart thinks we're about to run a marathon and just pumps really quickly for like a second, and then calms down again. And I'm sure that's normal. So
Yeah.
it happened this morning.
Well, you can see the positive side of that, Ted. It's like you've got a great recovery.
Right?
Yeah?
I rolled over, my heart, and then it calmed down.
Yeah.
I don't know what it assumed I was rolling over for in bed.
Those days gone.
Hey, look, she's nearly 40. We've been together 10 years. So, what's your controversial opinion on a famous film?
Controversial opinion. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I was just gonna say, 2001: Space Odyssey is boring, and actually, I look back at it and I was like, it was the worst 4 hours I've spent in my life.
It's not that long.
It's not fucking 4 hours, is it?
No.
This is how bad it is. It's a time-warpingly dull movie.
I mean, thematic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, but that's not what I'm going to say. I'm going to go straight for the heart.
Go on.
We're almost there. Halloween's fucked off.
Yeah.
Die Hard isn't the best Christmas fucking movie, and everyone who thinks that can go fuck himself.
It is a film that happens to be set at Christmas.
Yes.
Right? It could have been set any fucking time. They just needed everyone in the office together and for a reason for John to go back.
Yeah.
You get rid of that reason. That's it.
Yeah. And if you want to call that a Christmas movie, because of those reasons, if you decide, there's a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
There was some snow and stuff, Yeah, it's a Christmas movie. Then that's fine. But then I give you The Holdovers, which was also set at Christmas.
Yeah.
And is a fucking much better movie.
Yes.
So there we have it. Yeah. The best Christmas movie ever is The Holdovers. That's where I've gone with this. That's the twist.
All right. Okay, that is a bold statement. Because saying that Die Hard's not the best Christmas film, that's a lovely controversial opinion in itself. I'll address that first. Yes, I agree. It's a film that happens to be set at Christmas, because Die Hard 2 is also set, I think, at Christmas. No one talks about that film. Lethal Weapon is set at Christmas. No one talks about that film. Like, there are a lot of films that just happen to be set in December, and that's it,
Yeah.
Die Hard is a great film. It's a great, fun film, right?
Yeah.
If it's an excuse to watch it at Christmas, I have no issue with that, if that makes sense. Like, I can't watch Jaws in spring, autumn, or winter. Right? Like,
which is annoying, because that's your favourite film, isn't it?
It is my favourite film.
Yeah.
And so, like, I can't watch that film if it's not a hot day outside. Like, or not, at least it's summer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it should be a summer film. You're watching a summer film. And, like, I probably wouldn't watch Lawrence of Arabia No, I would. I'd watch Lawrence of Arabia on a wet, windy day. That sounds like a perfect way to spend a wet, windy day. But I feel like, Nightmare Before Christmas. It's a film that you watch around Christmas, not because it's a Christmas film, but because tonally it's made for cold nights, regardless of whether it's a Christmas film. And I think Die Hard is made for a cold night.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't necessarily need to be watched in the summer. So, by that metric, yes, it's not the best Christmas film, but it is a banger. The Holdovers as the best Christmas film, I don't know. It's a good film.
What's a better one?
It's not my job to say.
No. So you haven't got one then?
Not off the top of my head. Best Christmas film that makes you feel Christmassy?
Not really, because then you're going to say something like Notting Hill or something, aren't you? But
Well, I don't know why you think Ted Bennett would say a fucking Ben Elton, Richard Curtis film. I would say, if it's a film that makes me feel Christmassy, then it's something silly like not Christmas Vacation, but it would be along those lines. It'd be one of those films that we watched as a kid, like Jingle All the Way with Arnie.
yeah,
It's a film that I watched a lot as a kid. The Simpsons Christmas specials, I'd watch those as a kid. Those films feel Christmassy to me. But then, just in general, a film that is the perfect Christmassy film because it's, set, it's got snow in it, and it's, enjoyable.
yeah.
It probably would be something, It's a Wonderful Life, purely because that is such a Christmassy film. But I don't know, I wouldn't say that. But I would say, Holdovers, yeah, it is close, I guess.
I just, I think it's not to say I'm right or wrong, obviously,
It's an opinion.
but I'm right. I am right.
You're right in your opinion.
Yeah.
What is it about 2001 you don't like?
It's a classic Kubrick. Don't get me wrong, some Kubricks are good.
Yeah.
I liked, what was it? The AI one, is it AI? That was good before it.
That's not him.
Didn't he direct the first half of that? Or have I made that up?
He prepped it,
okay.
but Spielberg did all of it.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough then.
Yeah.
Space Odyssey 2001. It had a point. It just didn't. It needed 15 minutes to make it, really.
Fair. I'm not one of those people that wanks their dick over 2001. 2001 is a fine film. I see it more as a cultural importance that at the beginning of the year, Psycho is that's 60s film, and at the end of that decade, 2001. To me, when I look at, you can see how cinema has progressed in 10 years. So to me, it has more of a landmark in that way. And, the techniques they were using with the glass panel to make things appear and picking up the pen while it's floating. Technically, it does a lot of wonderful things. But in my older age, I am starting to see the similarities between Kubrick films and Christopher Nolan's films. And seeing it very much they're very good filmmakers, but I also think they're a pretentious bunch of wankers. And I don't like Nolan films. Since Batman Begins, I've always been let down by them.
Ooh, even The Dark Knight. Oh yeah, I remember you saying actually
Yeah.
on an earlier pod. Check it out, everyone.
He's listening. So whenever I think of 2001, I think of Interstellar, and I think it's two filmmakers trying to make a point, and then, in my opinion, getting too wanky with it and losing what is really correct about it. And don't get me wrong, Path of Glory by Kubrick is one of my favourites. Killers is fucking sick. His earlier work is very good. Barry Lyndon is one of my favourites as well. That's not really early work, but that's one of my favourites. But I feel like he gets a lot of credit for being this really in the weeds filmmaker, when actually I think that is very hand wavy for a lot of bollocks. And I think Christopher Nolan gets that as well. He gets this like, oh, his films are so cerebral. And then but he says, my films are best watched if you let them wash over you. And then you're like, well, no. If you let them wash over you, they don't make sense. If you think about it for 5 minutes, they're really deep. But if you think about them for 10 minutes, they go back to not making any sense. So what are you on about? And I think Kubrick's films are almost in that same bracket. I'll get a lot of hate for this, but fuck it, get in the comments. I don't give a shit. I'll fight you all. But yeah, so I kind of agree with you with 2001. I've never read it.
It's funny. What I can say about it is stupendously boring, but you know, there's little quotable phrases in great movies, and sometimes that's all you need. Like, life finds a way, or yeah, exactly. Sorry, Dave. It's just that wonder of how just gradually just becoming a bit more menacing and being able to do that voice yourself. Like, for years, as you know, I worked in IT. The amount of times I went to clients and they said, when I was in my cheeky upstart days, and they'd say, can we do this? And I'd be like,
You can't say the magic word.
I can't hate too much on that movie just because in my head I've distilled it down to 15 minutes, and that's a good 15 minutes.
No, I always say that even if I don't like a film, I wouldn't call it a bad film. I probably have 30 seconds ago, but I wouldn't call it a bad film if it did something. If it made me feel anything other than bored, then it's done something. And that's fine, you know? If it wasn't for me, that's fine. But if there's a quotable line in it, or there's a piece of CGI or a piece of like special effects that was unique for its time, then I think it's totally worth it. And I think, yeah, if you distill it down to like, as a concept, I like it, but I wouldn't sit through it. And I think that's fair. I think a lot of Hitchcock films are like that. I think a lot of Hitchcock films are... You probably wouldn't sit through all of them, but the 39 Steps is a banger. But, like, I probably wouldn't watch Marnie, you know? Like, or Topaz. But yeah, so I think it is just, you know, sometimes just having a highlighted version in your head is better.
Yeah.
So what have you been watching recently?
Well, two things, I guess. Are we allowed to mention TV shows?
Yeah, go on then.
I can mention movies because it is in film. So the last thing I saw at the cinema was the end of, you know, my journey, my life in film. So I went to see this thing called The Ballad of Wallace Island.
Oh, the Tim Key film?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I've got to be honest, I don't particularly like Tim Key. And actually, the woman in the film I bump into her all the time because she lives, like,
Carrie
on the road
Mulligan.
up. She's the one in Fleabag, yeah?
Phoebe Waller-Bridges.
Her sister, actually. Fleabag's sister.
Fleabag's sister.
So, yeah, she lives, like, a road up, so...
Sian Clifford.
Yeah, I think that's her,
okay.
Yeah, so like it's a film that years and years ago I would have hated because I would have got to the end and I'd have been like, what was the fucking point? What was the ending? There was nothing happened. Whereas these days I like that. And it's funny because Marie's not a big fan of films that don't have an ending to speak of, whereas, you know, and I always used to see it as a massive, massive cop-out. I was like, don't end the movie and then make me figure out what was supposed to happen next. That's your fucking job. Whereas
so
now...
not fans of Italian neorealism, then?
No, surprisingly not, no. But yeah, so I found myself getting to the end of that where something kind of nearly happened, but then it didn't. But I don't know. It was so.
I think with age you
well
realise
done.
That's more realistic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's so well executed that because obviously if it's not, then it does just look like a pile of shit. But
Mm.
in this case, it was so well executed. Even I've got a new theory. Developed a new theory. It's better than the Heartbeat one.
Oh shit! Here we go.
You ready
everyone.
for it?
Get ready for him to turn on the tail straight at the end of this.
Movies on islands are awesome. Like, for example,
So, can I say before you go
Yeah.
any further, The Island of Dr. Monroe with Val Kilmer and Marlon Brando is considered one of the worst films ever made.
Well, I'll tell you for why. Because because when you stick people on an island, and you allow them to sort of fester the loneliness and the difference in culture, you can really do some quite dramatic things with character arcs, which aren't
Yes.
you can't really do when people are just in their regular life without really annoying people like me who's there thinking, but this won't happen.
Fair.
This isn't real. That's a pet hate of mine now. Like, don't fucking disrupt the character unduly. You write that fucking script if you want him to end up there. Whereas, again, send them off to an island. A lot of shit can happen when you're getting lonely.
Yeah.
And when you're really on an introspective mission and you realise that you don't know when the boats are there or when they come and arrive. And that's what this film was. It was just brilliantly scripted, brilliantly acted. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it, even though in the end, fuck all happened.
Well,
That's what I would say. Although someone's probably written a whole thing about, how it's all about race relations in Atlanta. And I'll be like, oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I badmouthed Sinners on a previous episode. It was Sophia, and she was like, "What do you mean the vampires are pointless? The vampires was the analogy for like the white man sucking the soul out of the black man." And I was like, "All right, make me look like a fucking racist."
I know, I did hear that actually, and I thought, that's the Ted I know. Always got his head in the sand. Silence is violence. Oh, I'm half Indian,
Yeah, but don't talk to me about colonialism.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good.
Yeah.
There wasn't.
Yeah, so that's the last thing I saw, and I could give you a bonus series. I'll give you a bonus
Come on,
series.
give me the bonus series.
Somebody Somewhere.
What about?
It's on HBO.
All right.
It's again a brilliant, subtle series where not a lot happens. There's this woman who's just a bit lonely in her circle, needs to kind of reinvent herself, finds this kind of gay best friend, and from there their lives kind of blossom a bit, but not much. And yeah, it's just a classic tale in the suburbs.
Okay.
Of stuff and the complex relationships. They're kind of church going, but they're also very gender fluid, etc. So it's really, really watchable.
Okay. It sounds like you are actually quite into this sort of, I made the joke, Italian neorealism, where the filmmaker doesn't owe you an ending.
Yeah.
Right? So a lot of Italian neorealism is shot very wide, and it's up to you to find the story. Like, there is a story in it, but it's very much you're observing a section of someone's life or day or moment. You're not necessarily being shown the entire story, but you're shown this amount of it.
Yeah.
And because of that, that's where the interest lies. So if you watch like Bicycle Thieves, Paisan, Rome Open City, like these are all films that have those tropes in it. And then Martin Scorsese absolutely loves them. There's a 4 to 5 hour documentary called like Voyage to Italy with Martin Scorsese, where he talks about all of this. But he incorporates a lot of that in his films. But for a Hollywood ending, he usually like ties them up in a bow, and they are very neat packages. But that's the sort of the storytelling he shows, is that you're being shown this life, and it's a very interesting. It's an interesting take on film, and like having a filmmaker decide that they don't owe you an ending, I kind of agree with. As a viewer, I don't agree with, but as a filmmaker, I do.
Yeah. Shoot me a prime example, and I'll give it a watch. Because as long as it's well done, that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of stuff, and I wonder if I would like it now, but
I think it sounds like now you would enjoy it, but you'd have hated it years ago.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's still stuff like Mulholland Drive and the Budapest Hotel, Grand Budapest, stuff like that. I still find myself just thinking, what was that really
Well,
about?
they're like Grand Budapest Hotel is taking a lot. Well, Wes Anderson takes a lot from the French New Wave, where they're not afraid to. French New Wave films weren't afraid to make you aware that you were watching a film, so they would use multiple cuts of the same take and then quickly edit it so that the audience was aware. Oh, wait, no, that was an edit because we're watching a film, and they would flash color in between scenes so that it took you out of the flow, and it was a way to make you observe the film, but as a piece of art, not as a story. So when you talk about, like, without getting too wanky with it, fuck it, it's my podcast. When you talk about Italian neorealism or French New Wave cinema, the originals that did it best are doing it at their sort of, like, that's what it is. But then when you look at the new filmmakers who do it, they incorporate sort of elements, but with a Hollywood twist. And yes, things evolve and things are always moving. But I actually think that when you look at the originals, that's what they are. So then if you label them like, oh, it's a bit French New Wave now, it's like, it's not a bit French New Wave. Like, it's now something else completely different. Don't call it French New Wave whatsoever. So when you watch modern films that do it, I think they don't quite get it right because they then become just art house Hollywood films instead of them being specific other types of films.
Yeah.
So yeah, You want to talk about data science, I'll talk about fucking world cinema, mate.
Have you watched pre-Columbine, post-Renaissance film yet?
Let me think of a joke.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming on. There's been some good picks. I'll add them all to the letterbox list of all the films that get mentioned on the podcast. Go over and have a look at that, everyone. See which ones you have and haven't seen. I've seen a lot of them, but every time a new film gets mentioned that I've not heard of or I haven't seen, it goes into my watch list as something that I need to watch. And I usually try and watch one film from every episode, like, that I hadn't seen, just to add up my films. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Adam.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It's been lovely. And I'll speak to you soon.
Perfect. Speak to you then.
This has been a Lovable Rogue Productions podcast. Thank you to everyone that listened. If you want to help out your life in film, then download it, like it, share it, and give the pod a follow. I didn't realise till starting this that a download is the way they measure success and not just a listen. So, listening means nothing. Make sure you check out my guests on their socials, which will be in the description of the episode. Take a look at my letterbox. I've made a list of all the films that have been mentioned on the pod. There's fucking hundreds. So you can find some good films there. There is some good ones. There's some fucking weird ones, and I love them. Quick shout out to some of the podcasts I'm listening to. Caliber 9 from Outer Space. That's Robin Joe's. That's really good. And then The Villain Was Right. That's a great fun. Check that out. If you really want to be a mensch, give me that money. There's a link in the description. It'll explain it all. But a download and a share is excellent, and I actually appreciate that a lot more than you'd think. We currently have no sponsors, but I am open to them. I'll shill anything. I don't care. This has been a Lovable Rogue production. Thank you for listening.